12/21/12, the countdown to
apocalypse, the end of the world as we know it, SHTF, WROL, eclipses, global warming, economic crash, tidal peaks, droughts, polar shifts, solar flares, planetary transits, wars and famine, alien encounters and UFOs, global pandemic, zombie apocalypse, natural disasters, exploding sun, comet and asteroid crashes. What you choose to believe in is up to you. But is 2012 really the end of time, or simply the end of the world as we know it? Will our lives be forever changed? Well, to understand the chain of events, you have to be familiar with a few cosmic occurrences first. So let's talk about solar alignment. This is when the Earth completes a rare cycle around its axis and the Sun actually moves to the very center of our galaxy, which makes a transit the passage or path of a planet across the disk of the Sun. And an eclipse, on the other hand, is when an object gets in between you and another object. From the Earth, two types of eclipses happen: solar and lunar eclipses. As the Earth orbits the Sun, it comes between the Sun and the Moon and throws a shadow to produce a lunar eclipse. When the Moon passes between the Earth and Sun, it blocks the Sun's light and its shadow is cast on the surface of the Earth, causing a solar eclipse.
2012's chain of events have all of these characteristics and cosmic occurrences, including tidal peaks, solar flares, and polar shifts. The transit of Mercury is very important because, on an average, there are only 13 each century. All transits of Mercury fall between the months of May 8th and November 10th. And because of the slower orbital motion of Mercury, during certain times it's less likely to cross the nodes during critical periods. Therefore, May transits are more rare than November transits for the planet of Mercury. November transits recur in intervals of 7, 13, or 33 years, while May transits reoccur the latter two intervals. And since 1907, there has been 11 transits of Mercury in November and 5 in May. The next one is predicted to occur in 2016. Stay with me, YouTube. Moving to the most important event of our time, the transit of Venus. This is where the planet Venus passes between the Earth and Sun. Check this out. This means the Earth, Venus, and the Sun will line up perfectly in 2012 for the second pair of this rare cycle. Believe it or not, only 5 have been seen by the human eye. The first was less than 400 years ago because you needed a telescope to view the transit of Venus. And the telescope wasn't invented until around 1600-ish. Then you needed intricate details on the solar system in a whole and knowledge that a transit would even occur. Remember now, the orbit of Venus is on a slant, so it's only rarely it all lines up. This rare cycle happens in pairs, 8 years apart, approximately every 120 to 122 years. There is a transit of Venus predicted to occur on June 5th or 6th, 2012. I repeat that, there's a transit of Venus predicted to occur on or around June 5th or 6th, 2012. The last time this 8-year cycle occurred was on 12/6/1882. Once again, that's 12/6/1882, which means it's that time again. Be mindful that the next 8-year cycle following our June 2012 appearance will happen in December 2117. And none of us will be here to see this wonderfully rare occasion ever again. Now stay focused, everyone. What do the Mayans believe? Well, some Mayans believe 2012 will bring about a significant change of events that could possibly foretell the end. Others simply believe that their long count calendar marks the end of the 5,126-year era. See, the Mayans' calendar could predict solar and lunar eclipses as well as planetary transits right up until the end of 2012. The Mayans' calendar was adopted by the Aztecs and others as a basis for their own understanding of time and ancient beliefs. Mayans believed that history consists of 5 ages which ended in disaster before the rebirth of a new era. According to this calendar, we're living in the 5th and final age, which is due to end on 12/21/12. They also believe that the earthquakes will be a primary cause of this ending, because they'll bring about a battery of other disasters that will unfold. The Mayans believe that when the Earth completes its rare cycle around its axis and the Sun moves to the center of the Milky Way, all things will change.
During the winter solstice, the Sun will rise. Then there will be a dark rift at the center of the Milky Way,
which is known by astronomers as the enormous black hole at the center of our galaxy. This rare alignment is a galactic event that takes place only every 25,800 years, and the Mayans believe it will have catastrophic outcomes worldwide. Along with the Mayans, geophysicists believe pole shifts will continue to occur, which will change the positions of the North and South poles, coupled with solar flares and other events. This is what everyone believes will cause the disasters that will end it all. If these changes were to occur on a slower scale, it will result in global climate changes and sea levels would shift tremendously. Now, if it were to occur quickly over a few days or weeks, it could result in worldwide disaster. In fact, if the truth be told, the long count calendar isn't even the most important tool the Mayans used or the Mesoamericans used. Actually, their 260-day calendar is more widely used and referred to, but for all intents and purposes, 2012 is based on the long count calendar. So, yes, December 21st, 2012 is thought by many to be the date of world destruction or cataclysmic turmoil, and by others as simply the end of the world as we know it. It's said that the entire landmass will change and parts of the world will be underwater. No matter what the reality of 2012 may bring, we know these things for certain.
2012 will bring eclipses and transits that may foretell unforeseen events. We've already had a solar eclipse which occurred on 5/20/12. We're going to have a lunar eclipse on June 4th, 2012, followed by another solar eclipse on November 13th, and then another lunar eclipse on November 28th. And the most important event, the transit of Venus, is going to occur on June 5th or 6th, 2012. That's in a few days, guys. The next transit of Mercury is predicted for May 2016. This is where it gets good. Following these eclipses, a tidal peak will occur. The tidal peak that will happen this December will be heightened as the Earth is closest to the Sun the following month of January. 2 days after the lunar eclipse of June, the transit of Venus occurs. Check this out. The last time Venus transited the Sun was on June 8th, 2004. That was a couple of years ago. Before that, it was December 6th, 1882. So June 8th, 2004, 8-year cycles. Our next one is coming up. The reason I mention this is because following chains of events like eclipses, tidal peaks, solar flares, and the transit of Venus, major catastrophic natural disasters have occurred, scientifically proven. Krakatoa erupted August 27, 1883, after the transit of Venus, just as the 9+ quake and tsunami on December 26, 2004 followed the last transit of Venus. It's important to note that 2004, the quake was on December 26 and the tides peaked on January 10th, 2005, 2 weeks later, followed by several natural disasters. Now in 2012, we see the tides peaking on December 12th, but right before this, all of the other events occurred. And the end of the 5th age, according to the Mayan calendar, is on 12/21/12.
So what do you guys think? Will this year be the end of time, or just simply the end of the world as we know it?
NASA has predicted the world will experience major solar flares in 2013 that could virtually eliminate life as we know it. Most of the mysteries surrounding these chains of events can be found in the Mayans' predictions, geophysicists' predictions and theories, and the conspiracies shrouded by the Georgia Guidestones.
I'm not a geophysicist, a scientist, geologist, biologist, archaeologist, meteorologist, global expert, natural disaster expert, or anything closely related. I'm not fully knowledgeable on what's going on, but there is something happening. We're seeing a lot of things happen that we've never seen before. We're experiencing a lot of things that we've never had to deal with before. The seasons are running over into each other. The colder seasons and warmer seasons are getting longer and blurring into what in the heck is this? We have a lot of natural disasters that are going on worldwide. But if you ask me if 2012 will be the end of the world as we know it, I would say yes. But if you ask me if the world will end and be no more, I have to say no.
But I just may be closer to believing that the 5,126-year cycle comes to a close and simply starts all over again. I guess we'll have to be here on January 1st, 2013 to find out if all of this mumbo jumbo is real.
until then, I choose to believe in the Bible where it clearly states no man knows the day nor the hour. Reference Matthew 24:43, Luke 12:39, Mark 13:32. The Bible also says that generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. Ecclesiastes 1:4. Don't miss the only transit of Venus we'll ever have a chance to see in our lifetimes. This is your last chance. The next transit of Venus doesn't occur again until 2117.